eating a lot of protein every day or whatever, and whatever the conflict was at that particular time. And that's when I decided, well, I need to have this team, and they need to argue on my behalf as the student, in the background probably, so that the very best outcome comes as a result. And the team develops faster professionally than they otherwise would in a silo, which is what you get today in medicine. The silos, that is. And so I brought these guys all in, and they all hated each other, and they all wanted to work in their silos because it's like a culture in that space, in that business, to not work with other individuals who may be just as sophisticated but have different licenses.
Right.
They don't want to be questioned. The orthopedic surgeon doesn't want to be questioned by the physical therapist. The physical therapist doesn't want to be questioned by the orthopedic surgeon on physical therapy. Like they're like, no, I got this. Pass me the baton. You're done. Right. It's my turn.
Right, of course.
That's how it is.
Yeah, of course.
And there's a giant missed opportunity in learning and becoming better, at least clinically speaking. We don't do research, but we've got this clinical laboratory because of the collaboration that happens. Our development as a team is rapid because of that. But so I got these people together, and they all hate each other. I'm like, well, wait a second. We just need to figure out what our culture is, make sure we hire for the culture. And I'm taking doctors or trainers or nutritionists that actually come predisposed to want to work in a team.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking hard.
Yeah,
that's why it doesn't exist. Actually, that's why we're kind of a 1 in a million business at this particular point in time, because that's freaking hard. But that's also what I'm exceptional at. It's the decades of focusing on leadership as a skill that suddenly I really needed. I needed it way more than ever because I had so few resources, and it was such a competitive business with such low barriers to entry. So I just went after that, and now we have a team that's they're beautiful. It's like a SEAL team.
Yeah.
They just they work really well together. They trust each other. They fight. They argue, and we have these exceptional plans that come out as a result of that team collaborating.
I've never heard of such a scenario in a gym environment or in an environment like you guys have created. I think it's incredible, because I think a lot of times we forget when we go to the doctor's office, we're a customer. And we deserve the best information and knowledge of what to do with our bodies.
Right.
I think, as you mentioned, a lot of people just err on the MD side, where there is other alternatives, especially cholesterol is an easy one to target, right?
That's right.
You can take the statin, or there's a lot of ways that you can curb that.
A lot of ways.
Yeah, so that's just fascinating. I feel like you guys are offering so much over there that I'm glad that we're able to do this so more people can hear about what you're doing and how you're doing it and the passion behind it. Last question. How old is too old? We talked about age. How old is too old to start getting your health in check?
Well, you've heard the phrase, you're a saint everywhere but your own backyard.
Sure. I get it.
My dad, I love him. He's 76, I believe now. Would love for him to do everything that I do.
Yeah.
I mean, the exercises would have to change a little bit because of mobility. But everything from hormone replacement therapy to the supplements I take to focusing on sleep and not checking emails right before he goes to sleep, and all this stuff, the lifestyle things that I've accumulated, the hundreds of things I've accumulated over the last 7.5 years. So I don't think it's too late for him. I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
But I don't think it's ever too late. We're talking about incremental improvements, really, over time. Like you can't. Because so much of it is what we're doing to ourselves. Learning that you're actually in the driver's seat is the most important part of the education that our students get. Learning that you are in the driver's seat. And you can learn that at any age.
Yeah.
It just takes saying yes, frankly. You just step in and start doing it. And over time, you're like, oh, I get it. I've got a headache today because of the 3 things I did yesterday.
Right.
It didn't just come from above, and I don't just take Tylenol to get rid of this thing, because that's a bad thing. I did it to myself, and now I'm just not going to do those things anymore. That can happen at any age, and it should. So if you're 70, 80, 90, whatever it is, if you really want to get incrementally more from your life in 2018 than 2017, just take action.
Walk in the door.
Yeah. Just start walking.
Yeah. I love that. Really appreciate your time today.
My pleasure.
There was a lot of things I could just talk to you about at length, but I think you have a fascinating story. I love what you're doing at Stark. I wish you guys tons of success over there. I've listened to Eric talk about his program. If I lived close, it would be my place, but I'm so impressed with what you've done with him and the success that I've seen. So, again, thanks. Where can people find you? I know you got a couple of websites or Instagram accounts. Where can people find you?
Yeah, well, you can certainly reach out to me on Instagram, testosterone.
Okay.
You can find me there. But the best place is our website, which is starklife.us, www.starklife.us.
That's great. Listen to the podcast, download it, save it, visit Stark US. These guys will change your life. Thank you again for being on the show. Really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Jim.
All right, there you have it. This Todd's interview I just am amazed by the work that he's doing over there at Stark, and I love that they've combined all these professional backgrounds of people to create an experience as a team to make their consumer or their customer healthy, happy, strong, and getting the most out of their workout experience and being members over there. So thanks to Todd. I think we're all a little bit better for that. And I look forward to running into he and his team around town and following along on their Stark Naked stories. So check them out. Well, that's the show this week. And, I always like to leave with a little bit of a tidbit. And, one of the reasons why we do this show, the answer is yes, to encourage everybody to find their yes. And I've been reading a lot lately about trade-type jobs. There was a big article the other day about truck drivers and the lack of truck drivers and how tough the job is and the average incomes and things like that. But, there's always something to do out there. There's always great careers or opportunities for people to make money. You just have to find your yes. And whether that's truck driving or like my first big career job was at In-N-Out Burger. By the way, they're opening up one down the street here on the 210 and Campus Avenue in Upland. Looking for a job, I know they start at over $10 an hour. I think it's $13.50 an hour now. So great career job right there. So don't be afraid to say yes to opportunities in your life. Look around. It might just be right there knocking on your door. As my mentor says, David Meltzer, more than enough. So spend your mornings thinking about the things that you have more than enough of. You'll just be surprised at how great your life is. And for me, it's always been what you believe is what you'll achieve, dating back to 1983 with Mark Victor Hansen. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, sign up on iTunes. If you are so inclined, share with a friend. Let people know what you're listening to and the types of guests we've had on. We'd love to have you. And don't forget, head on over to startengine.com. You can invest in Baja United. Or if you just want to buy some wine, you can go to BajaUnitedWines.com and buy some wines. It's summertime. We've got a great new rosé Grenache out by Montichanique, just under $15, and a couple other great items on there. So please, we'd love to have you. If you're interested in being on the show, send me an email. Direct message is great, text, call, whatever method you prefer. And if you have a podcast and you'd like to have me on as a guest, I really enjoy being on podcasts. So please, again, reach out to us. Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to next week.